Hey guys, it's me. I hope everybody's doing okay. If you are watching this video, then you are getting ready to do some work while I'm enjoying myself in España. So thank you for being willing to watch these videos while I get me a little bit of vacation time. Okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over some concepts that we have been going over recently that I just went over in class. Just want to give you a little bit of extra review. These videos that I'm going to be doing will be dealing with some of the concepts from chapter 4 and 5 since I won't be here in person to teach them to you. Okay? So right now we're going to go to page 114. That's in the new edition of the book. And these are those verbs that we just went over the other day. You remember what they were? Remember we had tener, venir, poder, preferir, and the last one was querer. Remember what they mean? Tener, to what? To have. Venir, what does that mean? To come, that's right. Okay, what about poder? What did that mean? Do you remember? To be able to, or in English we'd often say can, I can do this. Alright, we also had preferir, and then finally we had querer. Okay, so querer, to want, preferir, to prefer, again poder, to be able to, can, venir, to come, and tener, to have. So for example, if I wanted to make a question out of some of these words, let's see what we could do. If I take, for example, the verb venir, okay, to come. Remember, it's irregular, so you're going to have to just learn those irregular forms through some type of memorization. I would highly recommend writing these words over and over. There's just something about that mental and then that tactile experience of writing things out that just seems to work. I know it's a little tedious, but I promise it works. It works. It helped me. Okay, so we've got the verb venir. All right? So, watch me ask this question. ¿A qué hora vienes a CVCC? ¿A qué hora vienes a CVCC? So, we know that venir means to come. So, what am I asking? ¿A qué hora? At what time? Vienes, do you come, where? A CVCC. ¿A qué hora vienes a CVCC? So I could answer, yo vengo a CVCC a las 8 de la mañana. So that's how I could answer, since that's normally when I come to CVCC. So, yo vengo a CVCC. I come to CVCC at what time? A las 8 de la mañana. Now remember, when you're telling time, you would say son las 8. It is 8 o'clock. But since I'm saying I am coming at a particular time, you have to say a las. And in this case, a las 8 de la mañana. So this is an example of how you could use the verb venir. Why don't we take a look at how we could use the verb preferir? You remember that verb we learned the other day? What does preferir mean? It kind of looks like the same word or verb in English, preferir, to prefer, right? So we've got preferir, okay? So, for example, if I were to ask you a question, I could say, ¿Qué refresco prefieres tomar? ¿Qué refresco prefieres tomar? Well, this word refresco is kind of a cognate. Remember, a cognate is a word that looks similar in one language to another and shares a similar meaning. So refresco, if you had to guess, would mean what? That's right. Refreshment or drink. So what refresco, what drink prefieres tomar? Do you prefer to go? For example, yo prefiero tomar té. Yo prefiero tomar té. I prefer to drink tea. So if I were to respond, then I would say yo prefiero tomar té. Yo prefiero tomar té. Okay? So let me give you a hint with this verb preferir, which means, again, to prefer. A lot of times in Spanish, when we use preferir, we'll have another verb after it. For example, to prefer to eat, to prefer to watch, to prefer to dance, whatever it might be. A lot of times we'll have another verb after this one. So remember that rule of thumb in Spanish? When you have two verbs side by side, what happens? That first one you've got to change, but that second one you have to leave it alone. So just like I did right here, I prefer to drink tea. Yo prefiero tomar té. I just left that second verb to drink alone. You're gonna leave it alone. Leave it alone. There you go. Okay, so let me give you one more example in this video of how we can use some of those verbs on page 114. The conjugations of those verbs are already on that page, so again, you can simply just refer to that page in your books or perhaps even in your notes to get a little bit of practice with those instead of me sitting here and writing down all those forms. Okay, so here is one of the last questions. Let's take a look right here. So how did we say in Spanish to want? Do you remember to want? Que starts with a Q. Querer. Yeah? Querer. Querer. So watch this question. If I would say, ¿en qué restaurante quieres comer? ¿En qué restaurante quieres comer? So let's say you're going out with some friends or a special someone and you ask that person, ¿en qué restaurante quieres comer? Let's break this down. ¿En qué restaurante? In what restaurant quieres comer? In what restaurant do you want to eat? Okay? So if I responded to that, I could say that yo quiero comer en, I'll say Olive Garden. Yo quiero comer en Olive Garden. Let me tell you something. If you're taking somebody out to eat and they're a special someone, don't be taking them to no Hardee's. Don't be cheap. Take them to the Garden. Okay? All right. So, yo quiero comer en Olive Garden. Again, this is another verb, querer, that can often take a verb after it. To want to eat, to want to drink, to want to watch, whatever it might be. So this is one that you can use, okay? So again, those verbs that we've learned on this page on 114 were preferir, poder, tener, venir, and querer. And I think I missed one. Did I not miss one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tener, venir, poder, preferir, and querer. There are 5 verbs right there. So make sure that you are studying those forms, because really all you need to do on your part is study those forms and study those meanings, because really I could show you the forms all day on the board, but if you don't memorize them and study them, it's not going to do much good, right? So make sure you do that. I'll see you next video. Gracias. Ciao.